everyone. Thank you so much for joining me again. I really appreciate it because I have such an amazing guest today that I met through the Go Giver Success Alliance, which is just an amazing group of people who have such incredible stories and all just really willing to help. So thank you so much, Shannon, for taking some time today. Shannon is senior executive in her direct sales company that she's been with for over 12 years. And she's also the author of an Amazon bestseller book, Success Unwrapped, Direct Sellers A to Z Event Guide. She's also a certified Go Giver speaker and coach. So, Shannon, thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I was excited when I saw your invitation, and it's always a pleasure to share with others about direct sales and being a go-giver as well.
Yes, being a go giver is just, I think, a lot of fun. Do you feel the same way?
I do. It is a lot of fun. And I find since I've met Bob Berg and other go-givers in his community, one of the things that has blessed me the most is just there's a constant refilling of feeling like you can do this and that there's something not just good about you, but something valuable that you can contribute to others. And I find so many people need reminders of that. So it just winds up being this perfect blend of, yes, giving to others and helping them, but also kind of refilling your own tank of self-confidence and belief, and then being able to pour that value back out.
Yeah, I think that's so true because I feel like in the world we can get caught up sometimes in feeling like people just kind of want to take from us.
Mm,
And sometimes we feel like we're taking from people, but I think coming from that giving mindset is just so powerful. And I feel like it changes
hmm
your outlook on, sales,
hmm
business, or just your personal life. Like just feeling that giving, like, yes, I'm just wanting to give back to my community, give back to my
hmm
friends. It's so rewarding.
I would agree with that. And for me personally, being in direct sales for as long as I have, I work with an enormous amount of women who really don't feel like they have anything valuable to give. And so this has been tremendous because my desire is to help them and to help them overcome that. But so much of what I've learned being in the Go Giver community is ways to help them see their own value, see their own authentic value, and believe in that for themselves. And that just helps keep this continuum going of giving, receiving value, in both directions. But that starting point of believing that you have anything to give in the first place is really big in the industry that I'm in.
Oh, yeah. And I would love for you to talk a little bit about your journey for the past 12 years, which is so incredible. But I've also noticed that direct sales and just sales in general has really transformed over the past 12 years. I mean, the era of, Zoom and social media and digital marketing and all of this has completely
Mm.
changed it. So I would love for you to kind
hmm
of walk me through kind of your journey through, the last 12 years of direct sales for you.
Sure. Well, it was what I would say accidental, although I know there aren't really any accidents in life, but I wasn't looking for a career in direct sales. I was a homeschool mom. I homeschooled my 5 children for 15 years. And I was actually at a homeschool convention. I was supposed to be shopping for books. And I saw these shiny, blingy things and thought, oh, what are those? And I went over to check them out. And, $85 of hair clips later, I wound up having a new business, and my poor kids didn't get to do school that year. I'm just kidding. Of course, I bought their books. But I did find this incredible product that really helped me with something I had been struggling with. And I reached out and found out it was a pretty new company. I wound up joining, still really not looking for a business, but just wanting to share these great products with other women, and thought, oh, I could get out of the house like once in a while, do some craft shows, talk to adults. And here we are 12 years later, I have this incredible business. But really, when I look back on it, I recognize and completely admit that I had zero experience in sales. I had zero experience in any type of social media. I had zero experience in leading, women or anything to do with sales in this industry. What I had was a passion to help others. And as I got more and more involved and women were joining this company, nobody knew what they were doing. We didn't know what we were doing. They didn't know what they were doing. And I wanted to help them. So I just tried to learn. I went to, workshops, and I read books, and I listened to podcasts, and I went out there and just did it, and then would come back and share, this worked or this didn't work. And we learned together, we grew together. And so now I have this incredibly successful business with all of these amazing women, but we did it together. We journeyed together, we learned together. And I definitely attribute my success to them and everything that they've done over the years. But it wasn't because I sought out to be a salesperson. It was really seeking an opportunity to help others that wound up leading me to where I am now.
That is so amazing. And I think that's such a great way, and that's a great mindset to start off in sales. Because I know salesperson, salesman, saleswoman, sometimes can have a negative connotation, because we think of those people who are just bugging you about products that you don't care about, don't help you, are not good for you. But when you come from a place like, this is just a passion. I just really adore this product. And I know that, I think you like it. It helps you. It's good for you. And I just want what's best for my client, for my friend. It's such a game changer.
It is. One of my favorite examples to share with women is about Lefty from Sesame Street. Have you ever seen that? You're a lot younger than me, so. But there's this character in Sesame Street. His name is Lefty, and he is the sly, sneaky salesperson who is always trying to sell Ernie, the other character, the letter or the number of the day. And he's all like shifty and, hey, come here. I got something you want. And then he shows them the letter of the day. And like, poor Ernie never wants it, but Lefty will do anything, including lying, tricking, like anything. And unfortunately, in our world, in our culture, that is how salespeople are looked at often. And the direct sales industry has even a worse rap than that. In fact, you can't say those words without hearing pyramid scheme and things like that. And so I, having been in this industry and have supported my family and put my children through private schools and college and, really obtained things for our family that we never dreamed were possible through this industry, I'm a strong advocate in trying to share with people that the only scheme going on are the lies in your own head that you listen to if you think that these possibilities aren't there for you as well. But that selling a product and providing something of value to others is always something that the world needs and desires when it's done from the right place.
Yeah, I really love that you mentioned that it's really all coming from that person's own self-talk, and honestly, sometimes even yours as a salesperson. Because if you go into these meetings, if you go into these conversations like, oh, I'm just a terrible salesperson, I'm like just as bad as any other crook out there, they're gonna feel it, and they're gonna feel like, oh, is this person going to scam me? No, you're not going to, but if you feel like, oh my God, this is such a scam, I'm taking advantage of them, they are going to feel that as well. So I think that's a really great thing that you mentioned, because people can feel that energy just radiating off of you.
100% agree with you. Yes, whatever you're projecting out there, people are seeing it and feeling it. And we really only get one shot with each person. We get one first impression, and trying to overcome a negative one is really difficult. So knowing these things going into, any position that you're in, no matter what job you are trying to succeed in, those impressions matter, and why you're reaching out to people, why you're talking to them, what you're trying to bring to them, and shifting that focus from always thinking about what you want to get to instead, what can I give? What value can I bring? Really makes all the difference.
Oh yeah, of course. And I think it's so amazing that you're able to open up and go into direct sales and have such success coming off from being a homeschool mom. Not because I think there's anything wrong with that, because my mom's been homeschooling me my whole life. She's still homeschooling my brother, and she is just such an amazing woman. And I just think it's so amazing. That's just a testament to the strength of being a homeschooling mom to 5, which is a lot more than my mom was. And I know I gave her a run for her money. I would love to know, is there anything that you would say to either your 17-year-old self, kind of looking back, or maybe just the younger generation kind of moving forward?
That's always such an interesting question when people ask, because I think sometimes people want to know, what would you change or do different? Right. But when I think back, what I really would want to say to myself is, keep the things about yourself that are unique, because they're your strengths. They're not your weaknesses. Those things that other people think are odd or, gee, she's a little bit out there, like those are actually my strengths. Those are the things that help me to stand out from the crowd, to do things in my own unique way. And those are the times, looking back, that I've succeeded. So, just a tiny example. One time I wound up starting a career, a business as Mother Goose. And it was this crazy thing that people were like, you're going to do what? You're going to do what? And it's just so bizarre, but it was so me and so much my personality. And it turned out to be very successful financially and otherwise. And so when I look back, I think, see, that crazy idea was a good one. And now, in my 50s, whenever I get a crazy idea, I'll share it with my husband and he'll go, do it, try it. Your crazy ideas work. So I would say that to myself. I would say, you know what, don't be disheartened by the people who think you're weird or you're different or your ideas are out there. Go with it. Trust your instincts, be your true self, and be proud of that, because it's going to take you somewhere.
That is so awesome. Not only having that idea, but acting on that is so powerful that you had mentioned, because I just feel like there's not even just in our society today, but all time, there's just so much obsession of fitting into this mold that people
Mm-hmm.
have. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, the mold doesn't quite exist. You can
It's
try as
true.
hard as you want to push yourself in a box, but the
Mm-hmm.
box will always shift. And as much as you try to get there, you will just never get there because it really doesn't exist. It's just
It's
kind of
true.
made up in people's mind. So that
Mm-hmm.
is so cool that you're able to have that idea and have the strength to act on it. And I think that really shows that our ideas are worth it and our ideas are worth looking into and exploring
Mm-hmm.
and having fun and having that creative outlet.
Yeah, I think the most successful people, if you really look into their stories and their backgrounds, there's usually something unique about them, something a little eclectic or odd, if you will. But having the strength to take an idea that's in your mind and turn it into something in reality is powerful. And the best ideas out there started as something that people would have thought, that's impossible, that's crazy. And then it turns into something. Everything that we have now is like that. And when people, collaborate and they're willing to talk about their ideas, one little thing can turn into another thing, and then you have these fabulous ideas, which is one thing I love about working with women. We can just, get these ideas out there, and then before you know it, it's this amazing, this one little thing turned into this practical concept that can really help people and be something beautiful. And so I love that. And I think, the generation now, yeah, just like ours, every generation struggles to fit in somewhere. And I have teenage daughters, and some of them are struggling more than others, but I would want the same thing for them. Don't be who everyone else thinks you should be. Be your own unique self, and let's see where it goes. It's going to be someplace amazing.
Yeah, I mean, look at just our social media. Years ago, people thought, Mark Zuckerberg was crazy for creating Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Steve Jobs was crazy for creating apples and
right.
smartphones, and now we physically cannot live without a smartphone.
Absolutely. Right?
Like,
It's so true. So true. So who knows what will be next? Some of the 18-year-olds now are going to be the ones creating the next amazing things. And it'll be
yeah,
the ones that were willing to stand on their ideas and not listen to other people's thoughts or their own lies in their head that make those things a reality.
yeah, that's a great place. I really appreciate you sharing all of this. And today has just been a complete blast. I have loved learning a little bit about you and the Mother Goose. That is so fun. I can't say I've had a guest before. I've had about 200 guests on here. I can't say any of them have ever told me about their business as being Mother Goose. So
Well,
you know
that's good.
what?
I
Thank you
like to
so much.
be different.
Yeah, and you're doing amazing. So thank you so much, Shannon, for the time today. I so appreciate it. Is there
Thank you so much.
any last thing you kind of want to throw out there before we wrap it up?
Oh, I just want to say thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to talk with you as well.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. We'll see you soon.